It's day 3 of learning how to wheelie on a moped. I was thinking about some of the comments you guys left, and one of them was to use the rear brake more. So today I started off with some exercises, just getting the nose off the ground, and then pulling the rear brake to bring it back down. Also, you may have noticed that I'm back on a bike path, which I know isn't the best choice, but I gotta work with what I got. This narrow space made learning today a little tough. After the rear brake exercise, I went on to trying what I like to call frog legs. What was actually recommended for me was to put my feet on the ground, but being a pretty short dude, putting my feet on the ground is really difficult. It was actually easier for me to start with my feet on the pedals, and as I'm picking the bike up, drop my feet down. That technique was really helpful for making me realize that I wasn't pulling the bike up nearly enough to get into that balance point. And this one here with my feet on the pedals wasn't very long, but it definitely felt like I was hitting the balance point finally. Now one of my problems is that balance point is so far back that as soon as I hit it, I get really nervous and I either hit the brakes, bringing it back down, or I let off the throttle. So I think it's just going to take some time for me to get comfortable hitting that balance point and really relaxing so that I can play with the throttle and the brake without being too aggressive. The other issue is if you go at different speeds, the brake works differently. So at high speed, you have to really squeeze the brake if you want it to be effective, but at low speed, any use of the rear brake is going to slam the bike right back down. I did feel like I got a lot of really good wheelies today that went pretty far, but I never had that moment where I was sitting in the balance point and felt like I could just go on and on forever. And the last thing I was playing with was using my legs and my body weight to try to steer the bike, or at least to keep it from tipping over. By the end of the day, I was calling this move the dog pisser. But you know, it seemed to work for me, so I'm gonna go with it. It was around this point that I started hearing a little bit of a rattling sound, and I realized that my pull start's starting to kind of fall apart. I probably should have left at this point, but I really wanted to get one more good one in before I went home. I still have a ways to go before I'll say that I've learned wheelies, but I think these last few attempts are a big improvement over the first day. I would like to learn how to keep my feet on the pedals and use my knees for balance a little bit more than kicking my feet out like I do. But, you know, this technique works for me, so I'm gonna run with it. At this point, I look down and my pull start looks like it's about to explode, so I head home. But on the way home, the pull start ends up getting tangled up in the variator, so I had to do the walk of shame the rest of the way home. Anyway, follow to see if I can learn how to do wheelies on this moped.